good. It is beginning to get busy, though, throughout the city centre at the moment on all the major routes, which are Regent Road, Princess Street and Great Ancoats.
Please to Nuffield Road, junction Brownlee Road.
Every month, more than 14,000 emergency calls are handled by Greater Manchester Ambulance Service.
Control to 5711.
Increasingly, this vital and often life-saving role is being performed by a new breed of ambulance worker, the paramedic.
You're scratching your arm, sir.
They still deal with routine cases like broken ankles or cut fingers.
Right, you need your finger looking at, so I'll take you down to the hospital, okay?
But they've also been highly trained to give on-the-spot medical attention at more serious incidents, such as road accidents or heart attacks.
Sorry. I'm going to put some little pads on your chest, all right, before we move you. Just do a few observations, all right?
We joined paramedic crew 4611, Dave Percival and Diane Alcock, for 24 hours on the front line in Manchester's city centre.
M62 junctions 15 to 17 went into Whitefield. The rush hour traffic means it's very busy now already in both directions through the Irwell Valley. And at junction 12 on the M62...
Now outside the Welcome Public House, Dickinson Road, wrong side.
I'll try and tell you what's happened. You've been found collapsed, all right, in the road. Somebody's phoned for the ambulance, all right? The policeman here because they were trying to help you. They found you as well. All right? What have you been doing this afternoon? Because you were unconscious and unresponsive a few moments ago. Is there any reason for that? No. Is there any reason why you should be like that? Are you diabetic? Yeah. Are you epileptic? Have you taken any tablets or any substance this afternoon? You've not taken anything at all? What I propose to do is take you to Manchester Royal, let them have a look at you there and make sure everything's all right. Yeah, just make sure you're all right, because you don't look too well at the moment. You've obviously been unconscious because you've been found collapsed. And there's no reason for that.
No, that's all right.
You say there's no reason for that. Right?
There's a few of us.
Have you taken anything that should make you become unwell? Any tablets? Have you injected yourself with anything? You think you've had some heroin? You think? You're not sure? You know you've had some heroin?
I joined the ambulance service because I wanted to be able to help people when they were ill or when they were injured. But I found I was responding to situations where being a basic ambulance technician wasn't quite good enough. It became obvious to me that I had to, in some way, get some extended training as a paramedic in order to be able to provide patients with a higher level of care that some of them needed.
How long have you been using heroin?
This is the first time for 15 months.
First time for 15 months. That may be one reason then why you've become unconscious if it's quite some time since you've used it. We'll take you to the casualty, let them have a look at you there. Just pass me the board, please, now. Paul's a young man who's potentially got his whole life ahead of him. Although at the moment he would probably disagree with that. He doesn't seem to think he's got much going for him. But it's very sad to see young people who do this to themselves basically because they're so fed up and they just don't see any future. It's some kind of escape, but it's very sad. Let's just keep her head in her neck.
Come here. Do you need any help?
Let's just keep her.
22.
All right, baby. What exactly happened, do we know? Anybody see what happened?
The car behind me here, she's been coming down this way. She's run out in front of him. And with two witnesses. So.
Right. Has it knocked her up into the air?
That's affirmative.
Maybe just some suction as well down, maybe. All right, this is just to clear your mouth. What's the first name? All right, Dominique, this is just to clear your mouth. We just need maybe to have a look at her legs and her back.
Do you want to put that underneath her head?
All right, Dominique, just stay nice and still. Mummy's here. Mummy's here.
What we want to do is just turn her over. Try and turn her over sort of all together. And I'm going to push this underneath her. Okay.
Just going to roll her on her side this way when we're all ready.
When you are.
Okay? Yep. Onto her side, that's fine.
That's it. About there. Yeah?
I'm going to roll her back after 3.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
I don't think you really have feelings until afterwards. You sort of just get the job done, and then afterwards you maybe think, oh, you know, it was a bit traumatic. But at the time, you can't afford to be seen to be upset. We probably look quite hard, I think, to a lot of people, but I don't think we are really.
Full alert at the airport? Time. Right, thank you. On our way.
It's got to be the worst nightmare. A huge incident which is initially probably uncontrollable with mass casualties. The difficulty is everybody knows what they should be doing. Everybody's rehearsed it before. We all know what our individual roles are. The difficulty is bringing everybody together to act as one unit, to work as a good combined service and make sure that everything's done swiftly and done correctly.
1, 2, 3. Move to one side, let's just get this blanket on here. Okay, mate. Not be long now, we'll soon have you off.
What to do is hitch you up and then just... That's it. Good girl. Come on. That's it. Down to me. Down to me. Yeah. Put your arm around my shoulder.
Good, Jeff.
Yeah.
We've got a doctor in the tent we've erected with a paramedic and paramedics on the coach with some of the smart nurses. So we will shortly be ready to roll with some of these patients over.
Our initial role will be the triaging of patients, that is the immediate assessment of the patient's injuries. It allows us to very quickly assess who needs immediate treatment, and if they do need that treatment they move to a specific treatment area, and it allows us to move other patients who can wait for treatment to a separate holding area. Luckily this was only a training exercise. I think everyone here hopes they'll never find themselves in the real circumstances where maybe hundreds of lives have been put at risk.
Good morning, welcome to Monday morning. Key 103 weather.
You having tea, Dave? You having tea?
Yeah, you got some tea bags?
Some tea bags.
Hey?
Some tea bags.
Oh, well, we'll leave them out there then.
Sure.
Hello, ambulance service. Good morning, love. Could I have an ambulance, please? It's the warden from Winifred Massey Court. Right, so what number are we going to? It's Ardwick Terrace. Ardwick? Ardwick. Ardwick Terrace. Yeah.
Come on, Mark, don't be shy, just shove it all in.
Like you do.
Hello, Central.
Hello, Central, an emergency for you, please.
Male collapse.
What have we got?
Male collapse. The times 08 9011. Okay, bye.
I know that's quite close.
Further down.
No,
In your hip.
oh there.
Here.
Yeah.
Did you bang him?
I fell on
Fell over backwards. What did you hit? Just the floor?
I don't know.
We've moved this, you see, he's possibly bounced into this.
Right.
Walter, where was that pain there? Was it just here?
It's like down there.
Here?
Yes.
On your ribs there?
Yes, you got it.
Right. Do you remember falling against anything?
No, I knew it did something because when I was trying to get up,
All right. Just stay nice and still, Walter. Try not to move.
Just relax a little.
I can't.
I know you can't, but just try.
What about your legs down here, Walter?
But
Walter, how are your legs?
it's wasted away, that leg.
Yeah, but that's okay. There's no pain there.
I get sort of a cramp in the foot.
Right. What about this other one?
That's not so bad.
That's okay. And you can feel me touching your legs, can you? Which is something that possibly fractured some ribs when he's fallen.
We're going to bring a stretcher into the house. We can manage to get the stretcher into the house, so we'll bring it in and put you straight on
Thank
that.
you.
All right, so if you just bear with us for a couple of minutes on the floor.
I've got some painkiller. Can I take?
No,
no. All right.
Just wait till you get to the hospital and they'll have a look at you. You don't want to take painkillers because you won't know where the pain is then, will you?
Sorry.
Save them for a bit.
What about this leg?
Screw the ball back on, Joe. No, you can't pull off.
No, this leg. This leg here.
Which one?
The left leg, please. Just up with it. Okay.
It's all right, we can pop a strap on that to keep it on, Walter. Just try and relax. The more you move, it's a difficult point. Right, just relax. Don't be concerned about falling off this trolley. That can't happen. All right, because you're securely fastened on. All right.
Walter fell during the night and he's banged his back. Appears to have injured his ribs, so we're just going to take it to hospital for an x-ray to make sure that he's not fractured anything.
Right, and the area's walk done? Right. Is a car gone round the roundabout the wrong way?
This is a maternity case. The lady is 5 days overdue. It's a GP urgent.
Roger, we've got it as the M61 north of Bolton at junction 4.
Not all the incidents that we respond to are dramatic, life-threatening incidents.
What's his name?
Thomas Aiken.
Pardon?
Thomas Aiken.
Thomas. Thomas, are you going to come with us to the hospital?
Working close to the city, we come into contact with people who are not medically unwell, but maybe have one or two social problems.
Have you hurt yourself anywhere? Maybe hurt yourself anywhere. Is this your dog?
We were informed that there was an incident at Hathersage Road up at Brook Street. We're in attendance at the moment. I'll keep you informed. Over. What I'd like you to do is sit on this chair for us. All right? Quite safe, you won't fall. All right, you just relax.
There are a lot of social problems. A lot of people just require our help, really, you know, just on a social service sort of point of view and a bit of advice a lot of the time.
Thank you.
He wasn't sort of at death's door or anything, but obviously he couldn't make his way home, so we take them to hospital so they can get a little bit of observation and just have somewhere to be until they recover more to be able to make their way home.
Okay. Down this way, please.
Ambulance service.
Okay, ambulance, please.
What address, love?
Birch Hall Lane, Longside.
Birch Hall Lane. What's the problem there?
It's a man, he's suffering from a bad attack of asthma.
Asthma attack.
Yeah, he was in hospital about 3 weeks ago or so.
He has difficulty taking his own medication because he's unable to inhale properly. His own medication's really not effective. You might just be a little bit dehydrated, so we're just going to set an intravenous line up. and just keep this fluid running open very slowly. I'm just going to pop a small cannula into one of the veins of your arm, Michael. If you just relax, Michael, feel a little pinprick in your arm. Sharp scratch. He's been breathless for 3 or 4 days and he's really beginning to get a little bit dehydrated and distressed. So we just established some intravenous access and just set up a normal saline drip, really just to rehydrate him very slowly. Does your asthma bother you much?
I don't.
So you get quite frequent attacks?
Recently it's been getting very bad, yeah.
Recently it's been getting very bad.
Can you just tell it up for me? I'll just finish this last little bit.
We now have various practical skills that the doctors would carry out with the casualty that we're able to perform in the pre-hospital phase. So we actually bring the casualty department to the patient at an early stage in the treatment.
Can you just put one down? That's it. He also suffers from angina, which is another added problem. If he's struggling for his breath, it can also bring on an angina attack as well. What do you take for your angina?
Traffic's horrendous in town if you have to go into town. It's unbelievable. The truth is, 5 minutes to get into the Arndale and about 50 minutes to get out of town. Did you get your meal all right today?
Of course.
Yeah. Good.
What about that little baby? You know?
Which was that?
Getting abandoned.
Yeah, there's a young child been abandoned in town.
Outrageous, right?
3-year-old.
Who did the shooting today?
We did.
Was it all right? I was going to say. Was it fatal?
No.
Did it actually pull the trigger?
Ambulance service. Can I help you? Hello, there's been a car crash right outside my house.
Yeah, we have a possible suicide. I could do with some fluid replacement quite urgently on this case. We've got a paramedic in the area. Could I get him down as soon as you can?
Of course, it would be one way. Of course, we can't get up. No idea where the synagogue is.
Losing blood from his mouth. So,
All right, Ted, I'm just clearing your mouth out a bit. Just gone to get a collar and whatnot. So. He was choking on his whatever he had in his mouth, all this blood and gums and stuff before. We moved him onto his side a touch.
How old are you, Ted? Do you know what day it is?
All right.
You control his head, Pat.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Just get him on there, just like that. And move him along.
Down there. Want me to go the other side? Sorry.
I've got him here. You say when, Pat?
1, 2, 3.
We're lifting down onto the floor now. Just hang on a sec, we're going to have to take this with us. It's just that bag there, because it's got the oxygen in it.
Yeah, we'll wash your bag.
Right, just take your time.
Don't
Take your time, no need to
slip,
rush. He'd obviously fallen down some marble stairs, a distance of maybe 15, 20 feet. He was unconscious, he'd been there an unknown length of time prior to our arrival. Quite serious injuries, from what could have been taken as a simple fall.
Okay, Ted. All right, get it into the ambulance now.
You have to balance things when you arrive there. The length of time it's going to take you to hospital, the length of time to perhaps move the patient from where they are to the ambulance. All these things have to be balanced. The length of time that is spent giving treatment in the field as opposed to rapid transport to hospital. You hold my arm, Ted.
That's it, nice and steady.
It's part of the skill of being a paramedic, knowing when to apply the skills and knowing when not to apply them to prevent wasting time. All things have to be taken into consideration very quickly, and decisions have to be made, whether it's going to be rapid transport or whether they're going to treat on scene.
Whose favourite?
I think it's quite pleased with that, isn't it?
That's
We're in Buckles, isn't it? 1-5 early. Yeah.
I think it's fair to say we don't save lives every minute of every day, but to be able to see somebody in a time of crisis and perhaps make a critical intervention without being melodramatic, to make an intervention that might mean the difference between life and death, is really quite gratifying, really. It gives me a great deal of job satisfaction to be able to do that.
Had all the x-rays done, there's nothing to show on the x-rays, and it's just his chest mainly. He's a heavy smoker. They found something on his chest that they suspect may be a tumour. But other than that, he seems to be waking up a wee bit more. Good. You've seen him before, he looks a lot better now, doesn't he?
What about this part of your hips here, Walter? Does it hurt here?
That's sore there, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some clothes here, Michael. We'll take those with us just in case it's necessary for you to stay in hospital. And your friend's going to ring up later on to see how you are.
The name's Dominique, she's 2 years old. She's not
Okay.
she's not. Alright, Dominique. Come on, Dominique. You're alright, darling.
What do you mean you'll do it proper next time? What do you mean? Fed up? Why? No job?